Shelley Huffman is a fifth grade Spanish immersion teacher. She has been a part of the Luton staff since the beginning of the Magnet. She has been well trained in PBL and is a staff member that has really embraced project-based learning, and her students seem to have really enjoyed learning through this approach. So, Shelley, can you just tell us what have you enjoyed most about project-based learning?
The students' excitement and engagement when doing the projects.
And I know last year you did a project and it really kind of took off. Was that on recycling? Or what was that project where you did the play?
Oh yeah, that was the recycling one,
Okay.
the environment one. Mm-hmm.
And that was planned for a quarter and it went for a semester,
Yeah,
didn't
it did.
And what happened, how did that happen? Or was it the student interest? They just kind of ran with it? Or what
Yeah.
happened with that? That was pretty exciting to see.
Yeah, it was the student interest and just their involvement with everything. So what happened was we started out with one idea and then somehow something piggybacked on that, so we just kept going with what was working because the kids were so into it.
Yeah, it was really exciting to watch. What would you say has been the biggest challenge with project-based learning for you or your students?
Time, and then working on the projects along with having to teach other content areas that are not with the project, basically sticking to a schedule.
And fitting it all in?
Mm-hmm.
And you've received a lot of training since you were here since the beginning of the Magnet. What have you found most useful with the training?
The templates in, I don't remember which book it is, in one of the PBL books that outline what the projects you have to put into the project. That was the most helpful because there's a lot to put in it and it's like a checklist for me.
So it helps with the planning.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your most successful project.
A couple of years ago when I had fourth grade, we were learning about assembly lines. And so what ended up happening was we made little piñatas out of toilet paper rolls and put candy and some other things inside of them and sold them, because at the time that was when the Flint water crisis had just happened. So they sold them at lunch and they ended up raising money for Flint.
Nice. So basically your focus for the global issue was having to do with water on that project,
Yes,
right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's where that tied in.
Mm-hmm.
So how long would you say it takes to plan a project from beginning to end? And I mean just kind of filling in that template and getting your ideas down on paper.
It depends on how experienced you are or how comfortable you are with it. This year it took me, I would say at the most, if in one sitting, it would take me maybe an hour.
Okay. And then do you recycle your projects? Like if you've done the same project from year to year, and if so, do you tweak that or how do you do that?
We redo the project idea.
Okay.
But so this year we're doing engineering, and we're combining engineering and the American Revolution. So last year we did something similar, but I changed the project. So last year with engineering and American Revolution, they made marshmallow launchers, and we had a marshmallow war in the classroom. And this year we're still doing the same content areas, but they are having to design like a blueprint, a fort that the Patriots could have used, and then they're making a model of it.
Nice. I know the Luton staff is now working more on the number of lessons per standard or presentation, because what we found is that we kind of plan it for 6 to 8 weeks and it's taking 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of looking at how many lessons do I need for the social studies standard, for the writing standard, and let's say the presentation for the products. Has that been helpful to you? I know it's new, but has it been helpful for you to kind of better gauge how long the project might take?
Yeah.
Or did you feel like you already had a pretty good handle on that?
I already had a pretty good handle on it.
Okay. So snow days get in the way more than
Yes,
anything else.
they do. Yeah.
What advice would you give to a new teacher to project-based learning?
Don't stress. Only focus on no more than 2 major standards in your project, and most of all, have fun.
Nice. And one more thing, how do you choose the global issue that relates to your project?
based on the content area that we're studying. So I knew at this time of the year it was American Revolution, so that's how I picked warfare. And of course the engineering went along perfectly with it.
Okay, so it all comes together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could use 3 words to describe PBL, what would they be?
Fun, engaging, and relevant.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Just the kids love it. They get more out of the projects than sitting in class and doing a traditional lesson.
Great. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you.